by the National Minister of Health, the Premier of Gauteng, and member of the Executive Council of Health Gauteng Province, hereinafter the government is ordered to pay the agreed amount of 20,000 rand to each of the claimants listed in annexes A and B in respect of funeral expenses. 2. The government is ordered to pay 180,000 rand to each of the claimants listed in annexes A, B and C in respect of damage damages for shock and psychological trauma. 3. The government is ordered to pay 1 million rand to each of the claimants listed in annexes A, B and C as appropriate relief and compensation for the government's unjustified and reckless breaches of Section 1A and C and D of Section 7, Section 10, Section 12.1D, Section 12.1E, Section 27.1A, Section 27.1B, Section 195.1A, B, D, E, F, and G of the Constitution, and multiple contraventions of the National Health Act 61 of 2003, the Mental Health Act 17 of 2002, that caused the death of 144 healthcare users and the pain and suffering and torture of 1,418 mental health care users who survived and their families. As required by the arbitration agreement, the amounts in paragraphs 1, 2, and 3 must be paid by the government in lump sum not later than 3 months from the date of the publication of this award, and in any event not later than the 19th of June 2018. Paragraph 5. Within 30 days of the publication of this award, the government must make available the services of qualified mental health care professionals who must assess the counseling and support needs of each of the claimants listed in annexes A, B, and C, and up to 3 members of each claimant's family. The assessed counseling and support services must be provided immediately, and in any event not later than 30 days after the assessment of the counseling and support services, except if any of the claimants or their families in writing decline the counseling and support. Paragraph 6 of the order. Pursuant to the arbitration agreement between the parties, the government is directed to construct at its exclusive expense and within 12 months from the date of publication of this award, a monument at an appropriate prominent location to commemorate the suffering and loss caused by the Gauteng Mental Health Marathon Project, and to serve as a reminder to future generations of the human dignity and vulnerability of mental health care users. Paragraph 7. Pursuant to the undertaking by the member of the Executive Council for Health Gauteng Province, Dr. Gwen Ramokgopa, the government is ordered to provide to the Health Ombudsman appointed in terms of Section 81 of the National Health Act 61 of 2003, and the claimants listed in annexes A, B, and C, or their representatives, the recovery plan, whose purpose is to achieve a systemic change and improvement in the provision and delivery of mental health care by the Department of Health of the province of Gauteng. The parties to these proceedings are permitted to share the recovery plan with interested members of the public. Paragraph 7b. The government is ordered to report to the Health Ombudsman and to the claimants within 6 months of the publication of this award, and thereafter every 6 months until the conclusion of the recovery plan. Paragraph 8 of the order. A. The government is directed to take prompt and reasonable steps to report or cause to be reported to the Health Professional Councils of South Africa and the South African Nursing Council, whichever is applicable, the conduct of the health care practitioners that fell under its jurisdiction and who were involved in the Marathon project. And these include Dr. Tiago Ephraim Selebano, Dr. Makabo Manamela, and Mrs. Dumi Masondo, and Mrs. Hannah Yakubas. B. The government must give notice of the steps it has taken to the health ombuds and claimants listed in annexes A, B, and C, or their representatives, within 30 days of initiating the steps. 9. The government is ordered to pay the party and party legal costs of all claimants, and each case including costs of one counsel. I signed the judgment. It is be available on the website immediately and available to all the parties. And to the media, copies of the order in particular are immediately available if you are in touch with Obakeng and Aviwe. And Kosike Diabule. We are adjourned.